The glories of Rome await.
But I've only got one word to describe it. Hot.
It's warmer than the Falls Road, just a wee bit warmer.
The choir boys from St Peter's Cathedral in Belfast are on tour in Italy. But will sickness ruin their biggest challenge yet?
One of the boys has been sick all night and somebody else isn't feeling well.
I nearly died during the...
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Can they cope with the pressure of performing in front of the Pope? Not once, but twice. And ultimately, will their voices really draw parishioners back to St Peter's Cathedral on the Falls Road? It's an emotional climax to the musical challenge for the choir boys.
Have your passport, please.
It's the trip of a lifetime. A flight to Rome is just the ticket after months of practice and planning.
Any liquids in your hand luggage? Anything sharp?
It's a big day for kids of all ages.
Yeah, well, I think I got excited a wee bit too early. I got excited last week and I started the day a wee bit, like, but I'm back up again.
Chris, 12.6.
They're not remotely nervous. I don't really think they've thought about it. It's way above their heads, so they just go and do it and then they'll think about it later, you know. So I'm just looking forward to getting away with the boys.
Hey, who's next there, please? Oh, hiya. Portuguese 25.
The weather's changing. The weather's warm in Rome and rain in Belfast. So, what's new?
Sort out the pizzas.
Right.
I have a menu.
All right, so tonight, Helen?
No, boarding out of gate 25. Thank you very much. Thank you. Super.
And when a sat nav, I'd want a sat nav, like, but not a wee clearing like that.
We're going to sing for the Pope.
Can't wait. The Vatican. That we're singing Jerusalem, Requiem. We always do that. We're doing Bird, Mozart, Jerusalem, and like for outside of the like church place, we're going to be like singing like stuff like Over the Rainbow and stuff. So Hannes and Angelicus and a bit of Mozart as well. Like the folder takes up half the luggage.
Do you know what time you're going to get up tomorrow?
27.
The boys have hit the headlines at home, but will they hit the right note in Rome? They've made it, and the Eternal City is the tourist hotspot.
Now, see what's at the end of that walkway, Paul? See when you take a look again, see there's chairs and things.
A chance for Paul McMurray and his dad Philip to view the Vatican through a famous keyhole. But singing is still very much on their minds.
If we weren't put under a lot of stress and then we messed up, then the people wouldn't really invite us back. Well, if we do well, like do the best that we can, we will get invited back.
I think that the children have a lot of potential, and the more you stretch them, the more they will meet that potential.
Come to the green luminous umbrella, please. Peter!
She looks after the boys as assistant musical director, but Helen Frame is also choir mummy.
We have a couple of suggestions.
You just have to remember that they are away from home and that they just every now and again keep checking on them and making sure they're okay.
There's a small park to my left.
Even that they're, you know, in contact with home too, that they're sending the odd text, the odd message.
The support of all the parents, including Claire Zabir, is vital in keeping the choir one big happy family.
I have my two. I have Connor. I have Chris. I have Aidan Gittins, and I have Bernie King and her son Peter. so we're fine. Oh, and my mum and dad. And Ethan's not in my group. What? You're not in my group? When they're together in a group, they're easier to look after. Kind of less demanding, you know, so they all tend to look after each other, so you get a bit more peace.
After an introduction to the glories of Rome, they'll need cool heads in the days ahead. Under a scorching Italian sky, the heat is building. It's time for the boys to rehearse for their first performance at the headquarters of the Benedictine Order. For Francis Campbell, the British ambassador to the Holy See, it's a chance to chat to the choir boys from Belfast.
You're very welcome to Rome.
It's good to think about much.
Who's been here in Rome before? One person. And are you finding it warm?
Yeah.
Very warm.
I nearly died, John.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I
You
fell
loved
asleep.
it. You fell asleep?
Yeah.
Now, I have another question for you. Who would like to come back and live in Rome?
Me.
I would.
And what's your favourite thing about Rome?
The top of the Vatican, the paintings.
Do you like the ice cream?
Yeah.
Have you had the ice cream?
Yeah. I haven't tried it.
How many days have you been in Rome?
Mr. Buster, would you like to sing something very quickly for you?
It's a great chance to impress the ambassador.
It's really wonderful to have you here, and thank you. Keep up the good work. And when you see your bishop when you get home, will you give him my regards?
The children must soon face their biggest challenge, singing at 2 set-piece events in front of the Pope. But first they must show they have what it takes before an audience of VIPs in the Benedictine Chapel of Sant'Anselmo. It's been a long day, but having sung for their supper, the boys are rewarded with an exclusive reception behind the famous keyhole on the Aventine Hill. It's a chance to mingle with the nobility, and their host, Marquis Chiaveri, is seriously impressed.
We have been told that a fantastic choir of young children were coming to Rome from Belfast. And Father Kennedy, that we know very well, told us they are singing in Sant'Anselmo. And then I say, if they are singing in Sant'Anselmo, why not come over to have a little dinner with us? What I thought fantastic about this choir, you hear one voice only. And this is, I think, the best achievement you can have in a choir.
Yeah. One guy sort of raced by, but you couldn't miss him.
Yeah. It's not every day you get to talk to royalty, but it's even better when it turns out that a prince is one of your biggest fans.
I was very impressed. Really, you could really see that they loved what they were doing. And I mean, they must have done this about 100 times since they're here, and they were still doing it, that it looked like the first time. So I was very impressed, really. The
trip is going down extremely well. and Joseph Fogarty is living his dream.
I'm kind of living the Billy Elliot story, whereas none of my friends know that I'm in the choir. It's only family, and the only people that would know are the people in the choir, so it would be scary to see what they would say when they found out. So I was into sports when I was younger, but then music took over. I couldn't live without music now.
Under a midnight sky and in the shadow of St. Peter's Basilica, the boys say grazie and ciao with a bedtime lullaby. It's their big day, but all is not well.
Just arrived down at breakfast to the wonderful news that one of the boys has been sick all night and somebody else isn't feeling well, so that looks like maybe 2 out straight away.
I know it's going to sound bad, but I feel hungover. I don't know why. I'm tired. Bruno woke me up at 5:30 thinking it was 6:30. So, quite an eventful morning.
Cormac's sick now in bed.
Yeah, Cormac's sitting throwing up. Because of the dinner last night.
What was the dinner?
It started off with like pasta, which was kind of like spaghetti hoops. That's what it still says in there. And then I don't know what it was. It was like salad and chips, and underneath the salad there was this dressing, and then like strips of meat that were just raw.
Basically, this is equal to St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. It's the major feast day after Easter and Christmas, so it's very special.
Oh, is that Philadelphia or butter? Butter. Oh dear, that's not a good sign. Looks like lard.
Very few choirs get the privilege of singing at this Mass, so I mean it is a tremendous honour for us. I mean, very humbling at one level, but very joyful at another.
It's beginning to sink in. They're preparing to perform live to an international audience.
Usually on a Sunday morning. Sometimes it can vary in the cathedral from like 50 to like 75 maybe, but today it's going to be something along the lines of 30,000 people there.
Hey guys, 3 minutes to the front door please. 3 minutes. Take us 20 minutes to walk down. Swiss Guards are expecting us at 8 o'clock sharp. If we lose that slot, your positions will be gone.
Anybody counted them? 16, 18, 20, 22, get a partner, 24.
She's counting on a great performance, but Helen Frame didn't calculate on illness getting in the way. It's time for the choir mummy to take a very sick Cormac McCool under her wing.
I think it's only hitting me now that we're here. Yeah.
He's really in a bad way and doesn't look like he'll even make it to St. Peter's. But he and the rest of the boys soldier on to the Basilica for one of 2 papal performances. The biggest event will be outside, but on this significant feast day in the Vatican calendar, the boys have been given a prime position inside. They could be forgiven for being overwhelmed by such majestic surroundings. They are indeed a long way from where they started. But here they are, right behind the altar, ready to sing alongside one of the oldest choirs in the world, the Sistine Chapel Choir.